You lack focus, not potential. Let these words settle deep into your consciousness, because they hold the key to unlocking the boundless power already living inside you. Many of you walked in here tonight feeling stuck, limited, unfulfilled. You look at your life and wonder, is this really all there is? You measure yourself against others who seem to have achieved more, built more, found deeper satisfaction. And in doing so, you slip into believing that you're somehow missing the potential they have. But I tell you, with total certainty, that belief is an illusion. It's a veil draped over your eyes by the world of appearances, hiding the truth of your divine nature. You see, friends, you are not simply human beings occasionally brushing against something spiritual. You are spiritual beings living out a human experience. And because of this, your potential is every bit as vast and boundless as the infinite mind of God itself. The great secret, the transformative truth I want to give you tonight, is this: your problem was never a lack of potential. Your problem is a lack of focus. It's through focused imagination that we shape reality, that we pull our desires out of the realm of mere possibility and into physical form. Think for a moment about the nature of your own consciousness. Isn't it true that whatever you hold in mind, whatever captures your attention, becomes your lived reality? When you dwell on thoughts of lack, don't you find lack showing up in your life? When you focus on feeling inadequate, doesn't the world hand that inadequacy right back to you? But equally, when you turn your mind toward thoughts of abundance, doesn't abundance start flowing your way? When you focus on love and joy, doesn't the world start feeling more loving, more joyful? This, friends, is the law behind all creation. It's the principle underlying every act of manifestation. Imagination is the very fabric of reality. As William Blake so beautifully put it, the divine body present in every person. When you imagine, you're tapping directly into the creative power of the universe. You're engaged in the same process by which God brought the world into being. For what is God, if not the eternal dreamer, forever imagining new forms and experiences into existence? But here's where so many stumble. You let your imagination run wild, with fears, doubts, limiting beliefs. You fixate on what you lack, what you fear, what you've decided is impossible. And in doing so, you take the very power that could set you free and use it instead to trap yourself further. The solution, the path back to freedom and fulfillment, lies in learning to focus your imagination. It means training your mind to dwell not on what currently is, but on what could be. Not on your present limitations, but on your infinite potential. Not on your fears, but on your deepest desires. Let me share a fundamental truth. The world you see around you, the circumstances of your life, are nothing more than imagination made visible. They're the result of wherever you've been placing your focus, consciously or not, up until this exact moment. If you're unhappy with your current reality, know this: you have the power to change it, not through struggle in the outer world, but through a shift in your inner focus. The outer world is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. To anyone tempted to protest, "But Neville, I've tried imagining better things, tried focusing on what I want, and nothing's changed," I say this: your failure isn't in your ability to imagine, it's in your ability to persist in that imagining. The creative power of imagination works on a principle of gestation. Just as a planted seed doesn't spring up overnight as a full-grown tree, your imagined reality must gestate in the fertile soil of your subconscious before it can appear in your outer world. This is exactly where focus becomes essential. It's not enough to imagine your desire once or twice and then slip right back into your habitual thoughts and feelings. You must learn to dwell in the state of your fulfilled desire. You must make your imagined reality feel more real to you than the world of appearances surrounding you. How, you might ask, do you actually accomplish this? The answer lies in what I call the law of assumption. To bring your desires into being, you must assume the feeling of their fulfillment right now. You must live from the end, experiencing, in imagination, the joy, the satisfaction, the sense of accomplishment you'd feel if your desire were already real. This, friends, is the true meaning of faith. It's not blind belief in something external. It's absolute conviction in the reality of your imagined state. It's unwavering focus on the truth of your desire, even when everything in the outer world seems to argue against it. Let me offer an example. Say you want financial abundance. The common approach would be to fixate on the lack of money in your current reality, to worry about bills, to stress over making ends meet. But that focus only perpetuates the very condition you're trying to escape. Instead, I urge you to shift your focus. Imagine what it would feel like to have all the money you desire. Feel the ease, the freedom, the generosity that would come with that state. Don't just think about it, experience it. Make it so real in imagination that you can feel crisp bills in your hands, hear coins clinking in your pocket, see a healthy balance in your bank account. Here's the essential part. Maintain that focus. Return to this imagined state again and again, especially when the outer world tries pulling you back into old patterns of lack and limitation. Through this persistent focus, this unwavering assumption of the wish fulfilled, you impress your desire onto your subconscious mind. The subconscious, friends, is the real secret to creating reality. It's the fertile soil where the seeds of your imagination take root and grow. It recognizes no limits, no impossibilities. Whatever gets impressed upon it must, by its very nature, express itself in your outer world. But remember, the subconscious doesn't respond to occasional, half-hearted impressions. It responds to dominance, to whatever thoughts and feelings you consistently entertain. That's why focus matters so much. Focused, persistent imagination is how you take command of the subconscious. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, this sounds like pure fantasy. How can simply imagining something make it real? To this I say, look around you. Everything you see, every invention, every institution, every piece of art began as an idea in someone's imagination. The clothes on your back, the chair you're sitting in, this very building, all of it existed first as a figment of imagination before becoming physical fact. Imagination isn't fantasy. It's the actual substance of reality. The world of imagination, as Blake said, is the world of eternity, the divine, eternal realm from which everything else proceeds. When you imagine, you're tapping directly into the creative power of the universe. But here's where many of you stumble. You let the so-called facts of your current reality dictate what you believe is possible. You look at your bank balance, your relationships, your circumstances, and declare, this is reality. This is what's possible for me. But I say to you, these aren't facts. They're simply the effects of your past focus. The only true fact in this universe is that all things are possible to the one who believes. And belief, real belief, is nothing more than focused imagination. When you can imagine a state so clearly, so persistently, that it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances, you have truly believed. And once you've truly believed, you've set in motion the very forces that bring your desire into being. This, dear friends, is the true meaning of the biblical instruction to pray without ceasing. Prayer isn't begging or pleading with some external God. Prayer is the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the assumption of the consciousness you'd have if your desire were already real. And to pray without ceasing means holding that state, focusing on it persistently until it becomes your dominant state of consciousness. I know that for many of you, This level of focused imagination feels difficult, maybe even impossible. You're so used to reacting to your outer world, letting your thoughts and feelings be dictated by circumstances, that the idea of deliberately choosing and holding a state of consciousness feels foreign. But I assure you, it's not only possible, it's your natural condition. It's how you were always meant to live. The difficulty you feel is simply the residue of habit, of years, perhaps lifetimes, of misdirected focus. But habits can change. Focus can be redirected. And as you do this, you'll discover a power inside yourself you never knew was there. Let me share a technique I've found incredibly powerful for developing this focused imagination, what I call the art of revision. At the end of each day, before sleep, spend a few moments reviewing the day's events. But here's the crucial part. Don't just recall what happened. Revise it in your imagination to match your desires. Had a difficult conversation with a colleague? Revise it. Imagine it unfolding exactly as you would have wanted. Feel the harmony, the mutual understanding, the good outcome. Got news that seemed to contradict your desires? Revise it. Imagine receiving news that perfectly aligns with what you want instead. Feel the joy, the excitement, the sense of fulfillment. As you practice this, you'll come to a profound realization. The past isn't fixed. It's not set in stone. Like the present and future, the past exists only in your imagination. And whatever exists in imagination can be changed through imagination. By revising the events of your day, you're literally rewriting your past, and in doing so, altering the trajectory of your future. But revision isn't just about changing specific events. It's about changing your entire concept of self. Your self-concept, friends, is the foundation your whole reality rests on. Change that concept, and you change everything. Most of you carry a self-concept built from past experiences, from other people's opinions, from limitations you've accepted as fact. But I tell you, that self-concept is nothing more than a habit of thought. It isn't your true self. Your true self is the God within you, the infinite creative power capable of assuming any state, any concept, any identity it chooses. So I urge you, revise not just the events of your day, but your entire concept of self. Imagine yourself as the person you want to become. Feel what it would feel like to be them. Experience the world from that state of consciousness. Practice this persistently, with unwavering focus, and you'll be astonished at how quickly your outer world begins reflecting this new self-concept. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, what about action? Surely we need to actually do something out there to bring our desires to life. To this I say, action is necessary, but it's never the cause of your manifestation. Action is the effect. Once you've truly assumed the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, once you've focused your imagination so intensely that you're living from the end, the right actions will flow naturally and effortlessly from that state. You'll find yourself doing the right things at the right times, meeting the right people, making the right decisions. And you won't do these things out of struggle or strain, but with a sense of complete naturalness. The state of consciousness you've assumed will dictate your actions exactly as it dictates your circumstances. This is the true secret of effortless manifestation. It's not about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about doing everything from the state of the wish fulfilled. When your actions arise from that state, they're infused with the creative power of the universe itself, and their success is guaranteed. So, dear friends, I urge you, don't accept the limitations of your current reality. Don't believe the lie that you lack potential. You are infinite beings with the power to create entire worlds. The only thing missing is focus. Begin tonight. Practice focused imagination. Pick a desire, any desire, and assume the feeling of its fulfillment. Make it real in your imagination. Live in that state. Dwell in it. Let it soak into your every thought and feeling. When doubts arise, when the outer world seems to argue against your desire, don't waver. Remember, the outer world is only a shadow, a reflection of your past focus. Turn away from the shadow and back toward the true reality of your imagined state. Persist in this practice, and I promise you, you'll watch miracles unfold in your life. You'll discover that you are the master of your fate, the captain of your own soul. You'll realize that the kingdom of heaven truly is within you, and that you hold the key to unlock its infinite treasures. The choice is yours, friends. Will you keep letting your focus be dictated by the illusions of the outer world? Or will you take command of your imagination and aim it toward the fulfillment of your highest desires? The power lives within you. The potential is limitless. All that's needed is your focus. Focus on the good, the beautiful, the true. Focus on the fulfillment of your deepest desires. Focus on the infinite potential residing within you. And as you do, you will transform not only your own life, but the world around you. For you are not separate from the world. You are the world. As you elevate your own consciousness, you elevate the consciousness of all humanity. This is your true calling. This is your divine destiny. Embrace it with joy, with confidence, with unwavering focus. You are the creators of tomorrow, the architects of a new reality, the ones who bring infinite potential into form. Now let's consider the nature of time in relation to this focused imagination. Many of you struggle because you place your desires somewhere in the future. You say, I will be successful, I will be healthy, I will be loved, but in doing so, you're forever pushing your desire further away. The subconscious knows only the present moment. It knows only what's true right now. So to manifest your desires, you must imagine them as true right now. You must move from the state of wanting into the state of being. This is what it means to live from the end. You don't imagine the process of achieving your desire. You imagine the result already accomplished. You assume the consciousness of already having what you want. Picture yourself already holding the promotion, already living in the new house, already enjoying the loving relationship. Feel its reality now. What would you be thinking? What would you be doing? How would you interact with others? Assume this state so completely that it becomes your present reality within imagination. And here's a profound secret. As you consistently dwell in this present state of fulfillment, the outer world has no choice but to reshape itself to match it. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, orchestrates the events, the people, and the circumstances required to bring your imagined state into physical form. You don't need to know how it will happen. In fact, trying to figure out the how is a sign you haven't truly assumed the end. Your only responsibility is to hold focus on the end, on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The how belongs to the subconscious, which has ways and means your conscious mind can't even conceive of. Some of you may ask, but what if my current circumstances are overwhelmingly negative? How can I focus on abundance while surrounded by lack? To this I say, it's precisely in these moments that your focus matters most. You must learn to grow indifferent to the evidence of your senses when it contradicts your desire. You must understand that your current reality is simply the outpicturing of your past focus. It's old news. By reacting to it, by fixating on it, you're only perpetuating it into your future. To break the cycle, you must dare to imagine a reality contrary to what your senses report. You must turn your back on the problem and focus entirely on the solution. Be like the sculptor who sees the finished statue hidden inside the rough block of marble and focuses only on revealing that beauty, ignoring the rough edges entirely. This demands a radical shift in your relationship with reality. You must come to understand that the outer world isn't the cause of your experience. It's the effect. The true cause is always your state of consciousness. So if you want to change your experience, you must change your state of consciousness. This is the essence of focused imagination. The deliberate, conscious selection of the state you wish to live in, and the steadfast maintenance of that state, regardless of outer appearances. It's the refusal to accept any limitation as final, knowing that within you lies the power to overcome every obstacle. Consider the stories of people who achieved greatness against impossible odds. They didn't focus on their limitations. They didn't accept the verdict of their circumstances. They focused on their vision. They held the feeling of their wish fulfilled until the outer world had no choice but to reflect their inner conviction. You carry this same power within you. You have the exact same creative capacity. The only difference is where you choose to place your focus. Will you focus on the obstacle or the goal? On the lack or the abundance? On the fear or the love? The choice is always yours. But remember, whatever you choose to focus on will grow and multiply in your experience. So choose wisely. Choose to focus on what uplifts you, what expands you, what brings joy and fulfillment. And don't be discouraged if you slip back into old habits of thought. Simply notice it, and gently but firmly redirect your focus back to your desired state. It's a practice, a discipline of the mind, and like any discipline, it grows easier with time and repetition. As you master this practice of focused imagination, you'll begin to feel a profound sense of freedom. You'll realize you're not bound by your past, nor limited by your present circumstances. You're free to be, do, and have whatever you desire, as long as you're willing to focus your imagination and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is the true meaning of salvation. It's not about being saved from some fiery afterlife. It's about saving yourself from the hell of your own limiting beliefs and misdirected focus, right here, right now. It's about waking up to your divine nature and exercising your birthright as a creator. So here's my challenge for you tonight. Pick one desire, just one, and commit fully to focusing on it. Assume the feeling of its fulfillment. Live from the end. Make it your dominant state of consciousness. Do this for just 1 week and watch what happens. Notice the shifts in your perception, the changes in how you react, the synchronicities beginning to unfold. You'll start to see that the universe isn't a cold, indifferent place, but a living, responsive presence that mirrors back exactly what you're focusing on. You'll discover you're not a helpless cork tossed around on the ocean of life. You're the powerful current directing its flow. Dear friends, the time for excuses is over. The time for believing in limitation has passed. You are infinite beings of unimaginable power. It's time to wake up to this truth. It's time to take control of your focus and aim it toward the realization of your highest ideals. Don't let another day slip by asleep to your unfulfilled potential. Rise up, take charge of your imagination, and focus it with laser intensity on the life you truly desire. As you do, you won't just transform your own life, you'll become a beacon for others, showing them the incredible power dormant within every human soul. Now let's go deeper into the nature of this power, the power of the assumed state. When I speak of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, I don't mean some fleeting emotion or a passing thought. I mean adopting an entirely new state of consciousness. A state of consciousness is a whole complex of thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and beliefs, shaping your entire experience of reality. It's the lens you view the world through. In a state of lack, everything you see confirms that lack. In a conscious state of abundance, you spot opportunity and wealth everywhere you look. The outer world hasn't changed, only your state of consciousness has. So the secret to mastering your focus is to master your states of consciousness. You must learn to move fluidly between them, deliberately choosing whichever aligns with your desires. This requires deep self-observation. You must become a watcher of your own thoughts and feelings. When you catch yourself dwelling on negative or limiting thoughts, intervene immediately. Say to yourself, "This is not the state I choose to occupy." Then consciously shift your focus back to the state of the wish fulfilled. This isn't always easy. Old states of consciousness, especially ones rooted in fear or doubt, exert a strong pull. They'll try to draw you back in with their familiar, comfortable misery. But you must stay vigilant. You must stay determined. Remember, you are the master of your mind, not its servant. You dictate the state you occupy, and you refuse to settle for anything less. Think of an actor preparing for a role. They don't simply memorize lines. They take on the identity of the character, thinking as the character thinks, feeling as the character feels, moving as the character moves. For the duration of the performance, they are that character. In the same way, you must become the actor in the grand play of your own life. You must take on the role of someone who already has what you desire. You must think, feel, and act from that state of consciousness. And just as an actor's performance grows more convincing with practice, your assumption will grow more real with persistence. At first it might feel forced, unnatural, like pretending. But if you persist, if you return to the assumed state again and again, it will eventually become natural. It will become your habitual state of consciousness. And when that happens, manifestation becomes inevitable. The world must conform to your dominant state of consciousness. It's the law. So I ask you, what role are you playing right now? The victim, the failure, the one who always struggles? Or the victor, the success, the one who effortlessly achieves what they desire? The script is in your hands. You can rewrite it at any moment. Choose a new role, assume a new state, and watch your entire world transform to match it. But you must be specific in your focus. Vague desires produce vague results. You can't just focus on wanting things to be better. You need to define exactly what better means for you. Build a vivid, detailed picture in your imagination of your desired reality. Engage every sense. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Make the imagined state feel as real and tangible as the physical world around you. And most importantly, feel the emotional impact of already having realized your desire. Feel the joy, the relief, the deep satisfaction. This emotional charge is the key to impressing your desire onto your subconscious. It's the fuel driving the whole engine of manifestation. Without it, your imagined state stays lifeless, powerless. So fill your imagination with passion, with conviction, with the absolute certainty that what you're imagining is already true. And then let it go. I don't mean abandon your desire. I mean release the anxiety, the striving, the desperate need for it to appear. Because anxiety implies lack. It implies you don't actually believe you already have what you want. When you've truly assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, there's no anxiety left, only a calm, quiet confidence. A knowing that it's already done. You rest in that knowing, fully detached from the how and the when. You trust the process. You trust the infinite wisdom of the subconscious to work out the details. This detachment is often the hardest thing for people to master. We are so conditioned to believe we have to control every part of our lives. But true creation requires surrendering control. It requires a leap of faith into the unknown, trusting the universe to catch you. So practice this detachment. Practice assuming your desired state, then resting in confidence of its fulfillment. If doubt creeps in, don't argue with it. Don't try to suppress it. Simply and gently redirect your focus back to the truth of your imagined reality. With time and practice, this becomes second nature. You'll find you can hold your focus effortlessly, no matter what challenges or distractions arise. And as you do, you'll witness your desires unfold miraculously into physical reality. You'll come to understand, not just intellectually, but through lived experience, that you are the creator of your own destiny. This, friends, is the path to true freedom, true mastery, true fulfillment. It's not a path for the faint of heart. It demands discipline, persistence, and unwavering commitment to your own highest potential. But the rewards go beyond measure. You have the power to build a life of unimaginable beauty, joy, and abundance. The only question is, will you choose to use it? Will you commit to focusing your imagination on the realization of your dreams? The choice is yours, and the time is now. Now I want to address a common stumbling block many run into along this path. The tendency to judge the progress of manifestation based on outer appearances. You assume the state of the wish fulfilled, focus your imagination, and then immediately look for results in the physical world. When nothing appears instantly, discouragement sets in. You start doubting the process, doubting yourself, doubting the very existence of this creative power. But this, friends, is a fundamental misunderstanding of how the law actually works. The outer world is the realm of effects, not causes. It's the shadow cast by your state of consciousness, and shadows don't shift instantly the moment the object casting them moves. There's a delay, a period of gestation. The seed has to germinate in the darkness of the soil before it breaks through into light. During this period, the outer world may appear entirely unchanged. It might even seem to be moving in the opposite direction of your desire. This is exactly when your focus is being tested. This is when you must prove your faith. React to the outer appearances. Let them dictate your state of consciousness, and you abort the whole process. You pull up the seed before it's had a chance to grow. But stay steadfast. Persist in your assumption despite what your senses report, and you guarantee your success. This calls for a profound shift in perspective. You must learn to look past the illusion of the physical world and see the deeper reality of your imagined state. You must become convinced that your imagined reality is more real, more solid, more permanent than the passing circumstances of your present life. This is what it means to walk by faith, not by sight, trusting your inner vision more than your physical eyes. When you can do this, you become unstoppable. You become immune to the discouragement and doubt that derail so many others. You stand firm, knowing that whatever you've decreed in consciousness must inevitably come to pass in the physical world. So how do you cultivate this unwavering faith? How do you hold your focus when the world seems to be working against you? It starts with understanding the true nature of your own mind. Your conscious mind is the gatekeeper. It decides what thoughts and beliefs are allowed through to the subconscious. If you keep bombarding your subconscious with messages of lack, limitation, and failure, that's exactly what it will reproduce in your life. But if you deliberately feed it thoughts of abundance, success, and fulfillment, it must manifest those realities instead. The key is becoming a relentless guardian of your own mind. Refuse to entertain any thought that doesn't align with your desired state. When negative thoughts arise, as they inevitably will, don't fight them, don't suppress them. Simply deny their reality. Say to yourself, this thought isn't true. It's a leftover from an old state of consciousness, and I refuse to give it life. Then immediately replace it with a thought affirming your desired reality. This is what I call mental dieting. Just as you're mindful of the food you put into your body, you must be equally mindful of the thoughts you feed your mind. You can't live on a steady diet of fear, worry, and negativity and expect to manifest joy and abundance. You must nourish your mind with thoughts that uplift, inspire, empower. Dwell on the good, the beautiful, the noble. Fill your imagination with images of success, love, perfect health. Do this consistently, day after day, until it becomes your natural way of being. This is the discipline of focus, the conscious, deliberate direction of your attention toward what you want to create. And I assure you, it's a discipline that pays the highest dividends. As you master your focus, you master your life. You stop reacting to circumstances. You start creating them. You stop being a victim of fate. You become its master. You become the conscious architect of your own destiny, shaping the substance of reality through the power of your imagination. But to truly harness this power, you must also understand unconditional love. I don't mean romantic or sentimental love. I mean love as the unifying force of the universe, the creative energy binding all things together. When you create from a place of love, your manifestations carry a power that can't be denied. Love is the highest frequency of consciousness. It's the state where you're most closely aligned with the divine. Focus your imagination on desires rooted in love, desires seeking the highest good for yourself and others, and you tap into a limitless wellspring of creative energy. On the other hand, create from fear, anger, or selfishness, and your manifestations will always be tainted. They might bring temporary satisfaction, but never lasting fulfillment. So examine your desires. Are they born of love or of fear? Do they seek to uplift and expand, or to control and dominate? When your desires align with love, your focus becomes effortless. You won't need to strain or struggle to maintain your assumption, because it feels so natural, so right, so completely in harmony with your true self. This is the secret to effortless creation, the alignment of your individual will with divine will. It's the recognition that you're not creating something from nothing, but simply allowing the infinite abundance of the universe to flow through you. So open your heart to love. Let it guide every creative act you undertake. Let it infuse your imagination with its transformative power. And watch as your life becomes a masterpiece of divine creation. Now let's return to practical application. I want to give you a specific exercise to strengthen your focus and solidify your assumption. Take a moment to clearly define one specific desire, something you deeply want to experience in your life. Write it down in a single positive sentence. For example, I am thrilled to be living in my beautiful new home. Or, I am so grateful for my thriving, successful business. Now close your eyes and relax your body. Let go of the day's tension. Sink into a state of deep relaxation, close to sleep. In this relaxed state, bring your written sentence to mind. But don't just read the words, feel their meaning. Assume the state of consciousness they describe. Imagine you're already living that reality. What does it feel like? Engage your senses. If it's a new home, feel the texture of the walls, smell the fresh paint, hear the sounds of your neighborhood. If it's a successful business, feel the satisfaction of work well done. Hear your clients' praise. See abundance flowing into your accounts. Make this imagined experience as vivid and real as you possibly can. Now here's the crucial step. Create a short, simple action in your imagination, implying the fulfillment of your desire. It might be shaking hands with a colleague, turning the key in the lock of your new home, or simply saying thank you to the universe. Repeat this small action over and over in your imagination until it takes on the feeling of reality. Feel the solidness of the handshake, the coldness of the key, the deep gratitude in your heart. Do this until you drift off to sleep, or until you feel a deep sense of satisfaction and completion. When you wake, don't go hunting for signs of your manifestation in the outer world. Simply go about your day, holding the inner conviction that your desire is already fulfilled. If doubt arises, recall the feeling of the action you performed in imagination. Let that feeling anchor you back to the state of the wish fulfilled. Do this consistently, and you will see results. You will prove to yourself the power of focused imagination. You'll realize you're not at the mercy of circumstances. You're their creator. Dear friends, the journey toward mastering your focus is the most rewarding journey you'll ever take. It's the journey of waking up to your true identity as a divine, creative being. It demands patience, persistence, and unwavering commitment to your own highest good. But I promise you, the destination is worth every bit of effort. At the end of this journey lies a life of unimaginable freedom, joy, and fulfillment. A life where every desire is quickly and effortlessly realized, where you are truly the master of your own destiny. So don't delay. Don't wait for conditions to be perfect. Begin now, exactly where you are, with whatever circumstances you currently face. Use them as raw material for your creative work. Focus your imagination, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and watch your world transform right before your eyes. You have the power. You have the potential. All that's needed is your focused, unwavering commitment. The universe is waiting for you to claim your birthright. Step into your power, embrace your divine nature, and create the life you were always meant to live. Let the truth of these words settle deep into your soul. You lack focus, not potential. Harness that focus, and there is nothing in this universe beyond your reach. The only limits are the ones you've placed on yourself. Break free of them today. Dare to dream grand dreams. Dare to imagine a life of boundless joy and abundance. And then, with the focused power of your imagination, bring that life into being. I leave you with this final thought. You are the operative power. You alone dictate the terms of your existence. No one else can do it for you. No one else is to blame for your failures, and no one else can claim credit for your successes. It's all in your hands. So take the reins of your imagination, direct your focus with precision and purpose, and build a reality that truly reflects the infinite, divine potential living within you. Go forth and create, my friends. The world is yours to shape. May your focus stay sharp, your imagination stay fertile, and your manifestations flow in abundance. Thank you for joining me tonight. May you take these truths to heart and use them to fulfill your infinite potential. This is Neville Lectures. I will see you in the next video.